you can forgive the person, but before you fully trust them again, and this is a tricky issue, and I know it's different for everybody, and it's a big gray area, but what I see with Joseph is before you can fully trust somebody again, we need to see that there is change in their life, that there's repentance, that there's steps being taken to move away from the sin, the evil that they did to you, maybe even sometimes if it's bad enough, in order to let them back into your life. Sometimes there needs to be periods of separation while we work things out and then hopefully come back together. Some people, if they don't change and if they're not interested in change, if they just want to keep hurting you, then the relationship may never be restored. And that happens sometimes, and that's a sad thing. But it happens sometimes. God forbid any of these awful things would ever happen to you, but we need to understand the weight of our actions, the weight of our sin, the weight of how we affect other people. And if we're the one that's hurting other people, because it's not just the other person's doing wrong to me, it's all their fault, but sometimes it's us who are hurting other people, who are sinning against other people, saying hurtful, spiteful, wrong things, doing wrong things, and we can't expect the other person to just trust us again full throttle as we come back from doing whatever it was. There needs to be change and repentance and confession and probably mediation and counselors and maybe police involved and whatever in this process as we work towards reconciliation. If someone's stealing your money and then a year later they say, hey, can I just borrow your credit card, and I just got to go buy some stuff, I'll pay it back, I promise. Obviously there's a pattern there, and we need to see that some things are not going to be like they were before. We can forgive. We need to love. We absolutely should have that compassion, the grace and mercy that's been given to us, but we can't just blindly jump into trusting people who have hurt us big time again. It's kind of like, I was going to do the balloon popping thing, but I've done that before and I scared some people. I woke some people up with the pride. But, the balloon takes a while to fill up with trust. Trust takes a long time to grow. And then, boom, it can be popped in an instant, in one action. And you can't just have it full again. It takes a while for trust to grow from things that have hurt us in our past and from us hurting people in our past. So before you completely reconcile, as you're working towards that, just be like Joseph. And I know we're not the judge, God's the judge, but you hear where I'm going with this. We need to see people's hearts through their actions, and as we're wanting them back in our lives, as we're working to restore that trust, we need to work towards some change together. And if you have hurt somebody in your past, which I know you have, because everybody has, who do you need to apologize to? How do you need to grow, and how do you need to change as you seek to restore that relationship? Do you have somebody in your mind who you've hurt? Because it's not always just about the other person. It's easy to come up with the person's face who's hurt us. That face is there loud and clear. And that's part of it too. But who have you hurt, done evil towards, ruined the relationship and said things you shouldn't have said, things you wish you could get back? And how could you seek to work towards restoration in that relationship? It takes time. It takes time for our hearts to mend, for relationships to be restored. Some relationships are never fully restored. There's always scars, and we're always working towards forgiveness and healing. But with Jesus and God, their power in us, we can work towards those things in our life. I don't know what evils have been done to you or what sins you've done to other people, but maybe know that unless that relationship is 100% toxic, just know that things can be restored. Maybe some of you have lost hope. Relationships can be mended. You might need a mediator, a third person to come in and help you work things out. But hope is not all gone. Hope is not lost. Maybe you haven't talked to your brother or sister in decades. I don't know. Some people haven't. Or parents or kids or whatever. God can still work in your relationship if you let Him. If you pray for Him to change your heart and help you grow and help seek that restoration with the other person.